May I ask for your assistance?
Ah, I know this. Yeah, let me help you. Mr. Frank Barnaby, right? Auction's about to start.
In the flesh. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Well, hold up. Written invitation first.
Can I present another piece of identification?
Nope. That's why we send the invitation. Move along, mister. Ain't nothing here for you.
Holmes, over here. Any luck?
None. They're holding an auction, invitation only. The good news is, I know who might have one. We need to find Mr. Barnaby.
Who?
Frank Barnaby, most likely a local.
And you think Mr. Barnaby would be happy to share his invitation?
Let us first find him, then we can see if he is the generous type.
Even skeeters know how to buzz off.
Closed auction, gems sold. By invitation only. Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, I've not heard about that, sorry.
How marvelous, Holmes.
Are you able
a
to help?
city within a city.
Good sort.
Indeed.
I'll help
Those
you.
lanterns
Listen
are
close.
delightful. It is as though we have been transported to the Orient itself.
Ow!
Locked. No one's here. Rather unassuming for a jewelry store.
Damn. He at it again. Barnaby still owes you. If he can't pay in greenbacks, he'll pay in blood.
Could you help me?
I'm bone tired, but yeah, I'll help you.
America, Holmes. I never thought I should be so lucky as to visit. This place has a Spartan charm, does it not?
It does. My soul will always yearn for London's gloom, but it reminds me of Cordona in a nice way. May I ask you something?
No, I not heard about that. Sorry.
Do you know anything about this?
No, I not heard about that. Sorry.
Barnaby, unconscious but with his eyes open. Look, Watson, the two of you are just alike.
Oh, great. So I look like a haggard alcoholic.
Eureka!
What have you got?
An idea. First, we'll need Mr. Barnaby's clothes.
Holmes.
Watson, time is of the essence. You will go to the bank, not as yourself, but as Frank Barnaby.
Holmes, we look nothing alike.
The hat and coat will do the heavy lifting. Just stay cool, play the part, and no one will notice the difference. Trust me.
Holmes, must we really indulge in this farce?
It worked in Switzerland, didn't it?
Sure, if you redefine the word
You
worked.
look great, Watson. The guard has myopia, you'll walk right through.
Where's my cash, Frank? In the bartender's tip jar?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Don't remind me of anything. Someone else might help you better, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the money, Barnaby?
I'll wait here so as not to arouse suspicion.
Mr. Barnaby.
Right you are. Shop owner.
Right. Your invitation, sir?
Here you go.
You okay, sir? Seem to have the jumps.
I'm in a rush.
Come on in.
Heavens, I never seen gems so big.
I simply must have them.
This might be useful. I'll make a note. Is this familiar to you?
I'm so sorry. I can't be of help.
Morning, sir, and welcome to the E.W. Gray Banking House. The auction will begin shortly. Name's Zoe Clemens, and I'd be delighted to help you.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Clemens. I am Frank Barnaby. I do have some questions, if you don't mind. These gems are rather curious. What can you tell me about them?
These rare beauties are black opals, all the way from Coober Pedy, South Australia. When they catch the light, the dark stone becomes a brilliant rainbow. It's something special.
Forgive my curiosity, but who was the previous owner?
Sir, I ain't at liberty to disclose them details.
It doesn't say where these stones came from, no provenance, no previous owner. I'm starting to suspect they were illegally procured.
What? We would never. I can assure you these gems were bought from one of New Orleans' most upstanding citizens, a philanthropist no less. If you would like to know more, I could get my manager.
You old dog, Barnaby. Didn't think you'd sober up for the auction. An hour ago, you were 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, you know, I hold my liquor better than most. And the auction was an important business opportunity.
An important business opportunity. Ha! What have you done with the real Barnaby?
Well, maybe I'm drunker than I thought, mister.
Mister? What's wrong, Frank? You're looking pale. Don't you recognize your old pal, Grub?
Of course I know you, Sheriff.
Good. Now, while I have you, there's the matter of your outstanding fines. I've been more than reasonable, but I'm afraid the bills come due.
Fines? Right, I'm afraid I don't have anything on me.
That's funny. Ain't you at the auction? I weren't born yesterday, Frank. Now, assault, battery, disorderly conduct, that's serious stuff. You got off easy, but if you don't pay up, things get a whole lot worse.
Look, Sheriff, I'm not actually...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Think careful now, 'cause Frank Barnaby only owes us cash. But fraud, impersonation, that's weasel behavior. And you know what we do to weasels round these parts. Feed 'em to the gators. So, Frank, what's it gonna be?
Here's all I have.
Mighty fine of you. The people of this parish deserve peace. They don't take kindly to visitors. Don't miss that boat tomorrow morning, Doctor.
Don't want to be rude, but even the man upstairs can smell you.
I told you, Holmes. I told you it was a bad plan. Now we're penniless and wanted criminals.
Hysteria gets us nowhere, Watson. Tell me what happened.
The sheriff saw right through me. He knew who I was from the start. Extorted me for every coin I had.
Bah, all that matters is what you learned about the gems.
I shan't discuss it while still wearing that blighter's clothes. I'm going back to the boat to get changed.
You know, I think the look actually compliments you. Why bother changing it? Forget the sheriff. I'm sure it was simply bluster and bloviation. Just tell me what you've learned. Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one. Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one. Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one.
A pox on the crew. A pox on the crew. Do you know anything about this?
Can't say I've ever heard about that.
Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
No. No! Was that your luggage again? I don't understand. We just got it back in order.
Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one.
It was like the luggage had legs of its own. Oh, Mr. Pratchett will have my head.
Oh, bollocks, now our clothes are in the bloomin' water.
It was like the luggage had legs of its own. Oh, Mr. Pratchett will have my head.
I ain't sure what you did to the sheriff, but it must have been something real hairy to have him chuck your luggage off the pier.
With respect, miss, have we met before?
If you were the real Frank Barnaby, yeah, we would have. But where are my manners? I'm Lucy. And you are?
John, I didn't mean to be rude. I've just had a difficult day, miss.
Well, it's barely noon. And you've already made an enemy in Sheriff Grubb. The man starves his gators just in case someone crosses him. John who?
Watson.
Well, Johnny, if you plan on sticking around, you better change that suit, or Frank's reputation will catch up with you. And then you'll be a John Doe.
Alas, I think one of those gators is currently devouring my spare clothes.
You've got yourself in a fine pickle. All right, come on board the Nymph of Louisiana, and I'll sort you something to wear.
The nymph? Is that what it sounds like? Why are you helping me?
Well, let's just say you ain't the only one who's had run-ins with the sheriff. Way I see it, this city deserves better. Now quit your stalling and head on over to the Nymph. I'll be in room 6.
This Mr. Barnaby is proving rather useful. Perhaps you're not so different after all.
One more word, Holmes, and I'll hand you over to the sheriff.
Sorry, was that John talking or Frank?
Oh, go annoy someone else while I visit the nymph.
Okay, fine. Change your clothes. We'll talk afterwards. And I thought I was the vain one.
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, mister, can't help you. Ask someone else.
Could you help me?
I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm clueless.
Always a pleasure to see you regular, Mr. Barnaby. Welcome home.
May I ask you something?
No, honey, I've heard nothing.
Well, look at you. All dressed up with nowhere to go.
I can't thank you enough. As I was saying, our journey has hardly gone to plan. We seem no closer to finding our missing people than when we left.
Well, if there were anything to know, Champagne'll know it. She's across everything in New Orleans. Look for her in the fisherman's village behind the Creole Quarter.
Thank you again, Lucy. I shall make my way there now.
Good luck, Johnny. Keep out of trouble.
Ah, forgive me, Watson. The difference is plain as day. What a remarkable transformation from Barnaby.
If we're critiquing wardrobes, Holmes, maybe you can explain why you used to roll just one sleeve up. Did you get bored halfway through? I feel much better in this suit, even if it is not mine. Lucy told me to find champagne and avoid the sheriff. She has been truly generous. I think I will avoid putting hands in pockets. I shudder to think what one may find. Let us hope Champagne's information will help. Let us hope Champagne's information will help.
Could you help me?
I've heard about that. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Are you all right, sir?
It'll come again. I will die.
What happened?
The lower of death came to me last night. I know it will come again.
Let's start from the beginning. My name is Sherlock Holmes. Could you describe last night's events for me?
I'm Cole Seabrook. It was Maman Brigitte. She came to me in the shape of a giant black rooster. Before that, some hit the wall outside. Then she came in. She took my will and she led me to the water.
Perhaps you were dreaming?
I wish I was. The Great Gator was there. It called me and I couldn't resist, but then the spell broke and I managed to crawl ashore.
Interesting.
I know how it sounds to an outsider, but it was the lower of death and it ain't finished with me.
You mentioned a lower. What is that exactly?
You outsiders only know one God. But there are many and we call them lowers. And Maman Brigitte is one of them. She is the lower of death and life. She heals the righteous and punishes the guilty.
Did you feel anything apart from fear last night?
Yeah. The signs of Maman's presence, no doubt about it. Everything became blurry and my mouth was dry and the light became very bright.
That is something.
Oh, no two ways about it.
Tocqueville? Lafayette! Hush now. No offense, Sheriff. Them two don't take kindly to gents. Especially foreigners. How can champagne help you? Trip to the bayou? Feeding a huge crocodile?
Some other time, perhaps. Word has it you know everything that goes on round these parts.
Maybe. Maybe not. What you want to know?
The bank in town recently purchased a valuable collection of gemstones from a wealthy man. What do you know of it?
Sure. I hear everything. This time I tell you for free. Next time, you pay.
Thank you.
May have been 1-2 weeks ago. Rich man's butler sold him some black opals.
And this rich man is?
Don't know his name, only that he from the French Quarter. Folk back in town could take you there. That's all I know. You need a boat? I hire 'em out for dollars. Or a bottle of you-know-what.
Thank you for the offer and the help.
Careful. Nolans may look welcoming, but not every smile is friendly. You can look at my dogs, but don't touch them. Don't tarry, Sheriff, lest skeeters get to you. Your man is from the French Quarter. The locals in town can get you there. Your man is from the French Quarter. The locals in town can get you there.
May I ask for your assistance?
I've heard about that. Let me tell you.
Is this familiar to you?
I've heard about that. Let me tell you.
I'm cursed, sir.
There are too many imprints here. It's hard to say where he did or didn't go. He dropped a cup here. This one is almost odorless. It smells sweet. Interesting. I will take it just in case.
I would love to learn more about these.
Cold ground herbs here.
Truly amazing.
And some are extremely dangerous. Supper leftovers. It's not a simple tea. A herbal concoction, rather.
That tea seems not to be very popular here.
Cheap and strong brew. With William in Shreveport, 1879. Some chewing tobacco leaves. Are you a good fisherman, Cole?
I wouldn't say so, sir.
have a feathered friend in the case. Poor bird crashed against Cole's house. The damage is recent. A feather. Not black, however.
Did you really expect to find the feather of rock here?
More boot prints here. Cole was having dinner. He was alone. The herbal decoction started to affect him. He became dizzy and dropped the cup. Hallucinations and stimulation brought him outside. He could have drowned if not for the sobering effects of the cold water.
Sir?
I must ask you, did you have a drink last night?
No, sir, I didn't take a sip. It all happened before I went to bed, and I only drink to fall asleep. That's just how it is lately.
Your boat is wrecked. What happened?
Well, I stumbled over a cypress root.
You'd need some force to cause that damage.
Yeah, and to be really down on your luck.
Cole, I am sure that you were alone last night. The Lowers were not with you.
Well, what else could you say?
I didn't say that I disbelieve you. I'm wondering about this recipe.
It's just herbal tea. I went to Mr. Samdi and he gave me the recipe to help calm my heart.
Is he a doctor?
He is a voodooist. It was risky, but all I wanted was some sleep.
Where can I find him?
On the side of the church at one of the entrances to the fisherman's quarter. Look for a Veve sign, but watch what you say. He has the power of voodoo.
I'll be careful.
There's nothing you can do about it.
May I ask you something?
I've heard about that. Let me tell you.
At least the weather is on our side.
Sir?
Cole, where are these herbs from?
I bought them from Zora. Her stall is at the market near the port. Death is hanging over me.
Yeah, I bet Zora will kill her. Did you see Ashley Rush there? Fearsome woman. Yeah, I'm afraid for them Chinese and for anyone to mess with them.
Yes, it really not very happy with them. Awesome.
Can I ask you a question?
I've heard about that, let me tell you.
Are these herbs fresh? And you dare call my product substandard?
Do you know anything about this?
I'm sorry, you should search for answers somewhere else.
Excuse me, are you Zora?
I am. What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have several questions, if you don't mind. You are selling herbs, is that right?
Do you want to buy something?
Not really. I wanted to ask if you have the herbs from this list.
Goldenrod, jasmine, strawberry. These are very common. I do sell them same as any other herb merchant.
I came here because Cole Seabrook mentioned you. Do you know him?
Unfortunately, yeah. He's my late husband's brother.
Have you heard of Jimson weed?
A poisonous plant, but it can help ease the pain if you know how to use it. Some believe you can use it to create a zombie, a will-less slave.
Is that what you wanted for Cole? Or did you sell it accidentally?
Did Cole get what he deserved? Ha! The Loas heard my prayers.
So you admit it was on purpose?
I admit there's a higher power maintaining order and justice in this world, and Cole got what he deserved. I'm happy that it happened, but that doesn't mean I'm to blame.
Can I ask what caused such hatred?
The sheriff confiscated all our weapons, and then the disappearance began. William wanted one rifle, just one, to protect us. Cole was too eager to help, and as a result, my Will got a bullet in his chest.
How did Cole explain what took place?
He just walked away as if nothing happened. Cole is the reason I lost my husband, and he should pay for it.
Don't you want to know what really happened?
For me, it's clear. An innocent man would tell everything. Only the guilty remain silent.
Sir?
I've learned about your tragedy, Cole. My condolences.
Zora told you, didn't she?
Can you tell me what happened and why you feel guilty?
My brother died. I'm alive, and William is not. That's why.
Tell me, what was the plan?
William had to get into the warehouse through the eastern gate, the one not far from the market on the edge of the railroad. I hid behind the barrels. I was on the lookout.
So what went wrong?
William went in, then came back with a rifle. I saw him jump off the crate, and then bang! He was lying there dead.
Did you see who shot him?
It was the bloody sheriff. I swear I saw him smiling.
What happened next?
My heart stopped. I froze. Then the sheriff yelled, "See if there are more rats." And I woke up. I ran away. I had just one task, and I failed it. And for my mistake, the lower of death will come for me.
The warehouse eastern gate. According to Cole, it all started somewhere near the barrels. Chewed tobacco. That's the spot.
I hid behind the barrels. I was on the lookout.
An oily handprint. The substance has solidified. I assume that this is cosmoline with which the gun was lubricated.
William went in, then came back with a rifle.
William was shot here.
I saw him drop up.
The bullet went through him, and based on its velocity and mass, I would say the shooter was no more than 35 or 40 feet away. The sheriff stood here. Cole had no chance to spot him approaching.
That's a terrible choice of position, and it cost his brother his life.
Then the sheriff yelled, "See if there are more rats!" And I woke up.
And what did Cole do?
My heart stopped. I froze.
Cole sought safety in flight.
Now I see why Cole thinks he deserved it. He simply left his brother behind.
He did not have much of an option.
Sad. I think Zora would like to know about this.
The crazy one is gone. Look for her somewhere else.
Help me, please.
I'm sorry. You should search for answers somewhere else.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm sorry. You should search for answers somewhere else.
Looks like someone's nightmare.
What do you want?
I know you are angry at Cole, but you must know that he is not guilty of your husband's death. I was at the warehouse and I saw it all myself. The sheriff shot William and Cole couldn't prevent it, not even at the cost of his life.
Why did Cole survive then? And how did he return unwounded?
He had no chance of stopping the sheriff, but he found himself unnoticed. All he could do was run or die.
That jackal sheriff. Perhaps you're right. I didn't want to kill Cole. It's just too painful to know that he's still around while my Will's dead.
You can mourn with Cole. Forgive him if you can.
I'll need some time for that.
Sir?
I have good news. No lowers are coming for you. You were poisoned.
What?
Zora sold you Jimson weed instead of jasmine. That was the cause of your hallucination. She wanted revenge.
It doesn't change anything. Look, the lowers were guiding her. I deserved it.
I went to the warehouse, and I know what happened. You are not guilty of William's death. You had no chance of stopping the sheriff. Your only choice was to run or die.
That was my purpose as a brother. But I failed William. I'm a coward. I ruined 2 lives in one evening, including Zora's.
I spoke with Zora, and she forgives you. Now is the time to forgive yourself.
Thank you, sir. I'll try. I appreciate your words, sir. I'll try to live worthy of my brother. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I'll never forget what you both did for me. I'll never forget what you...
Got a spot in mind.
French Quarter, and get us there fast.
I'm not used to this warmth and humidity. Hopefully our Arneson has a shady garden.
Got a spot in mind.
Actually, I'm not sure yet.
These plants and trees definitely keep the place cooler. Look at these properties. Each house is better than the last.
You know, Watson, the opulent mansions and stifling heat remind me of my time in the Mediterranean.
Corona does sound rather magical. Do you think you shall ever return?
I don't know. That place was home to some of my greatest memories and some of my lowest moments.
I know. Yes. Oh, yeah. Hey, you are good. Yes, I have. Yes.
Lord, help me.
Excuse me, miss. Are you all right? What is your name?
Eula, sir.
Waiting for someone, Eula?
Yes, sir. My brother Davy. He works for Mr. Arneson in that mansion yonder. Been 5 days now since I last heard from him.
Come now, why all the tears?
Something happened to Davy. I feel it in my bones.
Do you think he may have left the premises?
No, sir. Davy, he ain't like you and me. He's smart in some ways, but he can't talk. Not a word. He's pure and kind.
Fear not. We will look for your brother. One presumes this gate is locked. Is there any other way inside?
There's another entrance through the stables you could try. That's where I meet Davy normally, but I couldn't get in. See, I couldn't find the key. It wasn't in its usual spot. Please hurry, sir. Find him for me.
Excuse me, just one question.
I'm bone tired, but yeah, I'll help you.
I rather wish my lockpicks had not been lost in the river.
Along with all our clothes, books, tea. So quiet. Yet I doubt there was peace around here. Could we be walking into a trap?
Please, Lord, protect my brother.
This must be the key to the stables. Animal has been suffering for days.
It's dehydrated. Without water, it would die.
Mr. Arneson's cab is still here. Cayenne pepper. Half empty. Or as Watson would say, half full.
So quiet. Yet I doubt there was peace around here.
This might be useful.
Could we be walking into a trap? At least that's one life saved.
Size 10, the owner's footprints were shallow. Size 10, the heels were sinking into the ground. Look here, Doctor. 2 sets of footprints left by the same person, yet they vary in depth. What do you conclude?
Perhaps they arrived empty-handed, but left carrying something heavy.
Precisely. We'll make a detective of you yet, Watson. More boot prints. These fingers were severed with a single clean stroke, but I don't see the thumb or middle finger. Luxurious shoes, size 9. Look, Watson, animal prints. I wonder what kind. Boots, size 10. A scrap of silk, soft and elegant. There's blood here.
Ah! Do you smell that, Holmes? Something bad happened here.
I know. Be prepared for anything. The candle was burning when it fell. Someone smaller walked over these boot prints. A trail of wax leads to the door. A few drops of blood, but not from a mortal wound. Why does it look so familiar? Tea for two. An odd glimpse of normalcy amid the horror. A used kitchen towel. Watson, would you please lend me your medical expertise?
I'll do my best. An enormous blow shattered her ribcage. Blooded, broken nails. The poor woman tried to put up a fight. Extremely sharp and deadly. A wound like this could only be dealt by a man of incredible strength.
And cruelty.
What horrors happened here?
I will need your help one more time, Doctor.
The hand can bend freely. Rigor mortis has passed. His corneas are already clouded. The hand can bend freely. Rigor mortis has passed. A deep stab reached the man's heart. Clean edges suggest a sharp blade, but the wound is too wide for an ordinary knife. Hay on his trousers suggests a gardener or groom. This man has been dead for a week, the result of a sharp object piercing his heart.
You are mostly right. But I would bet he died 5 days ago. Heat and humidity will have accelerated the decomposition. Mr. Arneson with his prey. Someone was bleeding, but it doesn't look lethal. Burnt papers, now completely unreadable. The bent end of this candlestick has blood on it. Arneson and Davy seem to have got along well. He looks more like a son than a servant. Arneson and Davy, 1881. Fauna of Louisiana. Full of things that bite, no doubt. New Pied Piper. Foreigners missing in New Orleans. Note the blade, Watson.
A curved dagger, probably of Persian or Indian origin. 9 or 10 inches, I'd say. This place sets my teeth on edge, Holmes. What I wouldn't give for a nice bath right now, Holmes.
A dashing portrait of Mr. Arneson. A dull book about local geology. Even I'd struggle. intruder entered through the back door at night, leaving mud traces in the hallway. Without being noticed, they picked up a candlestick and struck the man in the chair from behind. In the kitchen, 2 people were drinking tea, the workman and cook. They were startled by the noise of a falling body and went to investigate the parlor. The workman tried to subdue the intruder, but was stabbed by the attacker's knife. Judging by the wound, it was a curved blade. The cook panicked and fled back to the kitchen. The intruder followed, but since their blade was stuck in the workman, they used the meat cleaver on the table to kill her. Someone smaller arrived and discovered the carnage. They dropped the candlestick in horror and ran for safety to a room down the hallway. Meanwhile, the intruder returned to his first victim and dragged their stunned body away from the fireplace and out into the garden. Davy, please open the door.
After all this, Holmes, I doubt the young man would open the door to a stranger.
Davy, please open the door.
Today started poorly and went downhill from there.
Watson, quick! Get her done.
Ligature marks on her neck. There'll be a bruise, but she should be okay.
Doctor, Watson, speak to me. How is she?
We were just in time, Holmes. Eula is stable, but lucky to be alive. We should take her to a hospital for a further examination.
Yes. I fear I was wrong, Watson. The sheriff is not a man to be underestimated. To lynch an innocent woman just to send a message, it's evil. We're not safe in this city, nor is anyone around us.
Then we must not dawdle. Help me get Eula to her feet.
No, no. I will not leave here without Davy.
Miss, please, we must get you help.
No, I will not be deterred. I will get my brother and bring him home.
If my deductions are correct, Davy lies behind this door. He ought to be unhurt, but is no doubt shaken.
Davy. Davy, you there?
Davy, we understand what you witnessed before. It's safe now. You're safe. Please, let us in. Your sister wants to see you.
Everything will be all right, I promise.
Yeah, them gentlemen speak the truth. Just open the door. Big sister's here for you. Davy! Oh, come here, you! Thanks, sirs. Lord bless your souls.
Let me examine him, miss. I want to make sure he is unharmed.
Remember, he may be mute, but he still understands you.
Davy seems in good health. The bruise is a remnant of that awful night, perhaps even caused by the intruder, but he is otherwise unharmed. In fact, I believe life here was good for the boy.
Arneson and the others cared for Davy. That may have allowed him to withstand such horrors. I need your help, Davy. We know that the man with the curved dagger is responsible for all this. You recognized the man, yes? The same one in the photograph in the office upstairs, standing with Arneson. Good. Please, write his name. And one last thing. The room with an image of a bell on its door may hold important answers. Do you know a way in? Yes. I think I've got it. You have been very helpful, Davy.
Oh, Davy. Things you must have gone through.
Let's take a closer look. These should come in handy.
Davy is calm and collected despite enduring all these horrors. An impressive young man.
Dense and disturbing notes. It's hard to follow. The scene is impossible, unnatural, but also familiar. A foreigner's clothes, by the looks of things from the Near East. A black opal, cut and polished, easy to sell.
We must stop this, Holmes. All these atrocities. We still have to find Arneson. After all we have learnt, I fear for his fate.
Angels, sirs. All y'all lacking is a pair of wings. I pray you find Mr. Arneson as well, in one piece to boot. When evil tries to knock us down, we get back up. We persevere. I ain't giving it the satisfaction. When evil tries to knock us down, we get back up. We persevere. I ain't giving it the satisfaction.
More boot prints.
We must put an end to all this evil, and I doubt we can count on the sheriff's help.
Arneson's signet ring, as we saw in his portrait. Well, isn't that interesting? Hello again, Lucy. My princess, my love, my heart. Fitting words. It's almost a piece of art.
We must put an end to all this evil, and I doubt we can count on the sheriff's help.
Davy, we know that Ashmat is responsible for what happened here. We must catch him and hold him accountable. I know that you are scared, but you are also the only one who can help us. I believe Mr. Arneson showed you a cryptic telegram that was sent to Ashmat. You are an impressive boy with a phenomenal memory. Can you tell us the contents of that message? Thank you, Davy. Watson, please copy down everything he writes.
We must put an end to all this evil, and I doubt we can count on the sheriff's help.
When evil tries to knock us down, we get back up. We persevere. I ain't giving it the satisfaction.
Got a spot in mind?
New Orleans port, and quickly.
Innocents slaughtered, a woman lynched, a boy forever traumatized. I fear we've crossed the Rubicon, Holmes.
Davy is resilient, much like Eula. He will overcome this.
You're right, but I worry this portends far worse for us. What have we got ourselves into, Holmes?
Who's your friend, Frank? We love a new face, and his is particularly lovely.
Johnny boy, so how was it with Champagne?
Most enlightening, thank you. And now my friend Mr. Holmes would like to talk to you too.
Well, ain't you something? What can I do for you?
I'm afraid I bring bad tidings.
How bad?
It concerns your significant other, Arneson.
Arneson? Now, who said we were lovebirds?
Lucy, we only mean to help. No word of the matter shall spread.
What are you implying?
The man in this letter seemed ready to declare his feelings for you. Sounds like he was more than a client.
It's part of the job. Men can say weird things when they think they're in love.
This photo of you and Mr. Arneson suggests the feelings were reciprocated.
Looking interested when with the client is part of the job, Mr. Holmes. I don't even remember the man.
You mean to say you take pictures with everyone?
If they ask nicely. And pay.
Arneson definitely paid for a ring in your size inscribed, "My princess, my love, my heart." It is for you. Arneson was going to propose marriage. The facts are clear. You know Mr. Arneson and perhaps even love him back. Regardless, he has been abducted. His life is hanging in the balance. Please, help me save him.
Oh my Errol! What have you gotten yourself into? I didn't want to believe this could happen.
Lucy, Lucy. What do you know? Could it have been the sheriff?
I don't know, John. This town has darkness in it. Errol and me, we had plans, dreams. We wanted to make this place better for all the folk who live here. Errol had grown suspicious of Ashmat, thought he was acting odd. He brought up the bayou. I told him to leave it all alone. The water's there. They swallow everyone.
You mean the alligators?
No. It's local legend. The bayou's dangerous. Any visitor that sees Death's messengers, they die.
These messengers, are they abstract or a landmark?
They're white lilies. You see a path with them flowers, you turn around.
All right, Watson. We must find someone to take us to the bayou.
Lucy, you have our thanks. We will go and look for Arneson.
Who on earth would harm Errol? Wish I could do more. Besides praying for your and Errol's safety. This city is full of scoundrels. But Errol's one of the good uns. May the bayou have your answers, and my man. May the bayou have your answers, and my man.
At least the weather is on our side.
Do you know anything about this?
No, honey. I've heard nothing.
Hello again, and thank you. Your last tip proved extremely useful.
Don't mention it, Cher. Champagne ain't one for trickery. Now, if you need more help...
As it happens, we need to take a short trip through the bayou into the nearby swamp. Of course, you'd receive fair compensation.
It's almost dusk, and only fools go into that swamp at night. Come back tomorrow. Champagne will take you then.
That will not do. We must go now. It is of grave importance.
I won't take you. But if you're crazy enough to go, I'll sell you the boat.
Wouldn't you know it, I came across a bottle of your namesake. Will that be enough for a boat?
It's warm. The bottle's dirty. But we got a deal. I'll even lend you this rifle. If you're going into swamp, you'll need it.
One last favor. The boat that we came on is to leave tomorrow for Europe. Would you kindly relay a message to the crew for us? We may need them to hold their departure till 8 in the morning.
Of course.
At least in Afghanistan, we had nippy nights.
It makes one yearn for rainy London.
This place, Champagne, did not mince words about it.
Keep your wits about you, Watson. We are inching closer to the heart of this mystery, however dark it may be. Hell's bells!
I told you to stay away, Doctor.
That he did, Holmes.
I rule these boys. No hiding from me here.
No case goes cold on my watch!
Settle down, boys. Our friends are as good as gone.
This is it, Watson. Our moment of truth.
Holmes, do you believe the sheriff? That we won't escape?
One cannot be hurt by superstition, Watson. This hut has been abandoned for a long time.
It reeks of damp. We're more likely to sink in there than on our boat. Let's go. Shall we investigate the area? I'll watch the bio while you search the place. At least we don't have to worry about the boat. Champagne did right by us. Look, Holmes. Fireflies. sign of arson. If not, let's push on.
How are you faring, Watson? You tired?
Not yet, but I've more than had it with these damn mosquitoes.
Fisherman's hut. Not what we're looking for.
sign of arson. If not, let's push on. was that, Holmes?
Whatever, or whoever it was, we should ready ourselves.
Drums in the bayou? Holmes, I think I heard something swim underneath our boat.
Probably just a rotten log.
Did you hear that, Holmes? What do you see?
Shadow. Nothing more.
If you told me when I binned your paper that we'd end up fleeing the law in a rowboat through the Louisiana Bayou...
I dare say you would have hardly been surprised. Getting thicker, almost suffocating.
The stench of death. All too familiar now. We're more likely to sink in there than on our boat. Let's go.
Watson, it is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close. careful of the gators, Watson. It is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close upon you.
Holmes, hand me the rifle. I can shoot the ropes holding a few of those poor souls. Come on, Holmes, give me the rifle. We shouldn't waste time in a place like this.
Watson, stay calm, but be quick. An alligator has noticed us.
That's vicious.
That's nature, Watson. Let's try not to annoy them. That pier looks promising over there, Watson.
We're approaching the heart of darkness.
Footprints left by a crowd of shackled prisoners.
This place gives me the shivers, despite the muggy night.
It looks like a boat left from here. Ashmat dragged Arneson here. smell of burning flesh, just horrific.
Keep away from it, focus on our task, so we may soon leave all this
fiery
behind.
gathering of passions and deception. This is not Arneson, just another unfortunate soul. The hand tied here was bleeding in 4 places. This had to have been Arneson. Both ends of the rope were cut cleanly. That's a lot of blood, but probably not enough to be fatal. The captive was dragged through hell.
I should be glad we're out of the water, but I'm not.
Thankfully, it's not Arneson. Thankfully, Arneson isn't among the dead. A heavy weight scored impressions in the ground 1 inch deep. The wood is swamp cypress, endemic to the area. Days old and rotten. Damp and mouldy hay. The prisoners were kept like animals, slowly deteriorating under the gruesome treatment. The bloody handprint on this stone lacks 4 fingers. The victim's left hand clawed at the soil. Sunken heels, the result of dragging a heavy body. The tracks lead behind the stone slab. Only this indentation was spared from blood.
If only the sheriff was kind and cooperative, our search for Arneson would be far simpler.
Blood was poured over someone, leaving a gruesome silhouette. Blood was poured over someone, leaving a gruesome silhouette.
Arneson the hunter became the prey.
Bowls filled with blood. A worn blade, but clean and without blood. blood is dry. The axe has not been used for some time. A simple rope. This is how those poor people were crucified. The initials EA are embroidered with silk thread. The prisoner's clothes tossed aside. Arneson was held captive in this cage until his abductors tied him to a cross and dragged him to the bonfire. Arneson was left hanging here for a while before being freed and led to the altar. At the altar, Arneson's captors performed a ritual on him and poured blood over his head. With Arneson now prepared, he was escorted to the sealed entrance. They used the mechanism with an indentation to open the passage.
Come on, let's see if we can find Arneson.
The tracks lead behind the stone slab. The tracks lead behind the stone slab.
Come on, let's see if we can find Arneson.
The tracks lead behind the stone slab. Heavy and covered in blood.
Something is wrong with my lantern. Give me a minute.
I won't wait for you. I'm going in.
It's nothing, Herbs. I'll join you in a minute. It's nothing, Herbs. I'll join you in a minute.
Woe betide those who take it. Walk away. What?
Not again. That's human skin, and still warm. What's happening? Deja vu, and not in a pleasant way. And now, axes? What on earth for? glowing, but why? There's that glow again. I hope that was all. I can't take anymore.
At last, the lantern's working again. Holmes, I'm coming. Holmes, what are you doing? Sitting in a place like this?
How did you get here? How did you get through the maze? Tell me, Watson.
What maze? I walked straight up to you. You saw me.
Do not lie to me, John. How did you get out?
Sherlock, what happened? Are you feeling all... Oh, heavens. Is that Arneson? Why didn't you mention him? Stay put. I must check if he is alive.
I just need a second, John. The walls are spinning. Let me catch my breath. The book. That place. I got lost.
I need to focus on Arneson. I need to focus on Arneson.
The unknown, beckoning, great one, lightning!
I should examine him before he has another seizure. Please tell me there are no eels inside Arneson. Severed fingers, the wounds are inflamed. Blunt trauma to the cranium, dilated pupils, lips moving without a sound. Pulse is racing, 110 beats a minute. Cold sweat. 2, no, 3 ribs fractured. Arneson is delirious after all he's endured. We can't get him to the boat in a state like that. It's dangerous to us and him. Pokeweed berries, though they appear harmless, the whole plant is lethal. Pharmacopoeia, listing drugs, effects, and directions for use. Some kind of amanita mushroom, extremely poisonous. Odorless, watery, and hard to identify. The nightmares these poor souls had to endure. I wonder what this language is. I can't decipher that text. This is Dwale, induces sleep and relaxation. A gluey decoction. The smell is herby but sharp. It appears burnt, judging by the color. Salvia divinorum. Provokes visual hallucinations. Hard to tell what it says.
Be fine, Watson. Check on Arneson. I'll be fine, Watson. Check on Arneson. I'll be fine, Watson. Check on Arneson.
Please tell me there are no eels inside Arneson. This should help soothe Arneson.
I need some fresh air.
Yes, please go. I'll be right behind you with Arneson. Perhaps you can prepare the boat.
festering soul and let me feel. Eyes without purpose, and now see the truth. Tear me mind from me flesh, score me festering soul. Phantoms of nothing, we are born to die. Filth in the eyes of our eldritch lord.
Free my festering soul and let me feel.
Oh, please, I wish to return. Free me, let me return. Free me and rejoice.
Eyes without purpose, I now see the truth. Tear my mind from my flesh.
Holmes, are you all right? Here, let me help.
I'm fine.
Holmes? Sherlock! What the hell were you doing? He almost killed you.
I don't... You're right. Let's go, Watson.
Bon Dieu! Still among the living.
We are, though not for lack of trying by the sheriff.
Well, he'd been telling people you died in the swamp despite his trying to save you. Crooked man. Through and through. Wait, is that Mr. Arneson?
Yes, but he's not well. Do you know Lucy?
Belle from the Nymph? That I do.
Please bring her here. Mr. Arneson needs to see a familiar face if he's to have any chance of surviving.
Power of the heart. I get you. Wait here.
Errol? Oh, Errol!
Reckon we should give him space. Farewells are painful.
No, tell me that's not true.
Watson?
Mr. Arneson has endured a lot. Lost 4 fingers, a lot of blood, and some of his sanity. But with rest and tender care, he ought to survive those injuries, both physical and mental.
Thank you, Johnny. I'll take care of him. Thank you for bringing him home to me. We'll be all right.
Are you quite certain? Do you have the space? The resources?
I will stay with him at the mansion. It is not a burden to take care of your love.
His property is in quite a state. It may not be the best place for recuperation.
Hush now. Champagne will see it sorted.
Then it's settled. Hear that, Errol? Us living under one roof. Careful what you wish for. Oh, and Champagne? I'm about sick of watching that sheriff run riot through New Orleans. We ought to talk.
Funny. I was just thinking that grub did nothing to save your man. Together, I reckon you, me, and Errol have the sway to make some changes round here.
I like the sound of that.
Holmes, our boat.
Oh, we must make haste. Farewell all. Take care. Who's there?
Who do you think?
Let it be known that I'm handy with this revolver.
Nonsense, Dr. Watson. As I understand it, when faced with the imperative to defend oneself, one's comrades, and one's nation, you fled. Aren't you going to introduce us, Sherlock?
Watson, meet my brother Mycroft, Queen's best boy. This is a grim augury indeed, for wherever Mycroft travels, tedium surely follows.
In contrast, of course, to Sherlock, a man whose obsessive pursuit of the trivial tears through the most carefully laid plans like a hurricane. Do you have any idea what you have disrupted?
Your ego is inflated as much as your waistband. What word comes to mind?
You work for the government?
International trade is a delicate beast. Your antics in Edelweiss have jeopardized one of the Crown's richest relationships.
Oh dear. As rich as all the butter you've been slathering on your bread?
We need your help.
What?
There is evil afoot. Strangeness and savagery like I have never seen. Something otherworldly festering in the dark beyond our reach. We have seen things that defy explanation. Mystic forces, magic. You must help us.
It's true.
The British government does not invest its resources in the insane or intoxicated. Pull yourself together.
I know men like you. Men like you grease palms, whisper in ears, start wars, and you send men like me to die in them. You and the rest of your corpulent cronies.
Ha! Corpulent! That was it.
Interesting, Sherlock. But as you again drift away from sanity, you find yourself another John.
All right, so the choice is made.
I beg your pardon?
There is only us. We cannot run from this problem. I shall take the book and Davy's cryptic message to Barnes. See what he makes of it.
Hmm? As you were, Watson. Do what you must. Family, Watson. I let go of the best part in Cordona. Now I am left with the worst in Mycroft. You held your own against Mycroft. He makes for a formidable foe. A daunting brother. Go on without me, Watson. I need a rest. And a smoke or two. Go on. Without me, Watson, I need a rest. And a smoke or two.